There's nothing quite like getting hyped for a game release only to find out that it's free to play from day one. From X-Defiant to the First Descendant, we've already seen some incredible free to play games this past year, and the upcoming lineup is looking even more stacked in 2025. Today, I'll be breaking down the most exciting free to play games coming soon that you need to keep on your radar. Whether you're into MMOs, fast-paced shooters, or even football sims, there really is something for everyone. My name is Fletcher, this is Xbox Nation, and if you love all things Xbox, then hit that subscribe button for daily content. Now, without further ado, let's dive right in. First up is Throne and Liberty, dropping on the 17th of September, and yes, this is just around the corner. This free-to-play MMO is making waves because it offers some truly massive PvP and PvE experiences. Imagine being part of a huge large-scale battle, whether that's fighting rival guilds or taking on monstrous bosses that tower over you. It's chaotic, but in the best way possible. The dynamic world is a big highlight here, and the day and night cycle and weather patterns aren't just for show. They also have a direct impact on the gameplay. To put this into an example, a sunny battlefield could quickly turn into a rainstorm, affecting visibility and your combat strategy. Throne and Liberty also features a dual weapon system, meaning you can seamlessly switch between different fighting styles mid-battle. Not to mention, but you can also shapeshift into animals, adding a whole new layer to exploration and combat. If you love big guild battles, castle sieges, or just love getting lost in a rich, ever-evolving world, then this is one MMO you won't want to miss. Next up is Path of Exile 2, the highly anticipated follow-up to one of the most beloved action RPGs of the past decade. It is set to hit early access this November and is bringing a ton of new content with it. You'll be returning to the grim world of Rayclast, but with new twists, new skills, fresh weapons, and a story that dives deeper than ever into the dark, twisted lore. What's exciting here is the completely revamped class system, which allows for even more customization of your character. The choices that you make will heavily influence your abilities, so you can truly tailor your build to your playstyle. Fans of the original will also be happy to know that Path of Exile 2 is keeping the core loot grind, but expanding it with more diverse environments and intricate dungeons to explore. So with that, if you're into hardcore RPGs that offer endless replayability, you definitely won't want to skip this one. For all of my superhero fans out there, Marvel Rivals is coming out this December, and it's set to deliver non-stop action with a roster full of iconic characters. Whether you're controlling Spider-Man, Iron Man, or even villains like Loki, the fast-paced combat is designed to keep you on your toes. To be honest, the best part, you can expect regular updates with new heroes, villains, and content. The game will have multiple modes, including solo missions to those who want to play through epic storylines, and also multiplayer modes like team battles and PvP arenas. There's also a deep upgrade system that lets you customize and level up your favorite characters, unlocking tons of new abilities and gear. Marvel Rivals looks like it's really shaping up to be a long-term staple for fans of the Marvel Universe, so if you love superhero games, this one's a no-brainer. Now, let's talk about Splitgate 2, which is actually planned for a 2025 release. If you're familiar with the first game, you'll know what to expect, as it really is described as Halo with portals, and that's for very good reason. It combined classic arena-style shooting with mind-bending portal mechanics, and it was a breakout hit when it launched in 2021. For Splitgate 2, the developers at 1047 Games are rebuilding everything from the ground up, now using Unreal Engine 5. Also adding a faction-based system, which will give players more options for team-based strategies and objectives. I'm really hyped to see how Splitgate 2 evolves, especially as the original game racked up 10 million downloads in just 30 days. The fact that it's staying free to play means we're going to have a massive player base right from the start, and it comes to Xbox sometime next year. Next up is a blast from the past with Delta Force. This is a reboot of the classic Delta Force franchise, and it's set to hit sometime in 2025. Whether you're into tactical single-player campaigns or just prefer military warfare, Delta Force will have you covered. One of the standout features is the wide variety of operators you can choose from, each with their own unique abilities and loadouts. Think of the specialists from 2042, but on a more refined and unique scale. You'll be tasked with clearing missions, working with your team, and taking down enemies in massive open-ended environments. There's also a big emphasis on finding resources and items to upgrade your operator and their gear, which will give you even more options during missions. With plenty of content at launch, from a multiplayer mode like Battlefield to more of a Tarkov extraction shooter, there is so much promised with more down the line. This tactical shooter is looking like it could really be a hit for fans of team-based combat. Now, let's switch it up with some football. UFL is looking to disrupt the football gaming world when it releases sometime later this year. What makes UFL really stands out is its commitment to fair play. Unlike traditional football games in the same genre that really rely on microtransactions for upgrades, UFL focuses on more skill-based competition, meaning everyone starts on equal footing. The game features ranked matches, tournaments, and even custom leagues, making it a great option whether you want to play casually or competitively. The developers have put a strong emphasis on realistic gameplay, and they're hoping to build a community-driven game where players' feedback actively shapes the future updates. It's set to be a fresh, fair alternative for football fans tired of pay-to-win mechanics in other games of this genre. Hero shooters have really been a bit hit or miss lately, but FragPunk is trying to bring something new to the table. This 5v5 squad-based shooter debuted at the 2024 Xbox Game Showcase, and its main hook is its power-up card system. Before every single round, you get to activate these cards, which drastically change the rules of engagement. With over 70 shard cards, 10 heroes, and 14 different weapons, there really is a ton of depth on how you build your team and your approach to every single match. The combat is very fast-paced, chaotic, and full of counterplay, just making it feel fresh all round. If you're tired of the same old hero shooters, then FragPunk could be exactly what you're looking for. Now, let's dive into something a bit more adventurous. Endfield takes place on a distant planet called Talos 2, where players will have to explore uncharted wildlands filled with danger and mystery. If you've played Arknights, you will recognize some of the story themes, but Endfield stands on its own with its new gameplay style. You will control a team of operators, exploring vast uninhabited territories, uncovering hidden stories, and fighting real-time battles using a mix of strategy and action. As you venture deeper into the planet of Talos 2, you'll encounter various factions, each with their own unique goals and motivations. With its mix of exploration, tactical combat, and a very deep narrative, Endfield promises to offer you a unique and immersive experience when it finally releases. If you love tactical shooters, then Arena Breakout Infinite is one to watch. Set in a dangerous dark zone, this game lets you step into the boots of a soldier of fortune, scavenging for high-value items whilst battling other players and AI enemies. Customization in this game is a huge deal, with more than 500 accessories to tweak your weapons to fit your playstyle. Whether you're focusing on stability, accuracy, or range, every single choice matters in how your weapon performs in the field. The game does also boast real-time lighting and 360-degree spatial audio, making every single firefight feel intense and immersive. It is shaping up to be a must-play for fans of hardcore tactical combat, and it's had some pretty decent reviews over on Steam already. EXOMECHA is bringing mech-based combat back in a very big way. This futuristic shooter offers something for everyone, whether you prefer ground combat or want to pilot massive mechs in large-scale battles. The game is actually set on a dynamic battlefield where environments shift and change mid-fight. You'll be able to use vehicles, mechs, and even grapple hooks to gain the upper hand. The visuals in this game from what we've seen are absolutely stunning, and the gameplay really promises to be a mix of strategic planning and fast-paced frantic action. It has been quite a while since we heard an update, but it still has a 2025 rumored release date. EXOMECHA is certainly one to keep an eye on, and until we hear more, make sure you subscribe. Last but certainly not least on this list, Synced is a futuristic techno-apocalyptic shooter where you fight against rogue nanomachines. What makes Synced really stand out is the ability to tame these nanos and turn them into allies during combat. You'll be able to team up with your friends for PvE missions or go head-to-head against each other in PvP modes. The game really does seem to offer plenty of depth when it comes to different runner classes, as they each have their own abilities and playstyles. You can actually combine that with the fast-paced and tactical combat, and you've got a sci-fi shooter that feels fresh and exciting. If you're a fan of games like The Division, but want a more futuristic twist like The First Descendant, then keep your eyes on Synced. So, these are the upcoming free-to-play games you need to have on your radar. From action-packed shooters to immersive MMOs, there's definitely something for everyone. Which game are you most excited for on this list? Drop me a comment below and let me know. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to Xbox Nation for daily content on everything Xbox. Whilst here, why don't you check out our most recent video covering the new Xbox Game Pass games that are releasing this September and October.